Hey everyone, quick video on the stock market health for swing trading. I primarily trade based on the daily chart for swing trading. I will take some shorter term trades sometimes if conditions aren't great, but that's what we're looking at. Are conditions good for swing trading on the daily chart? And right now they are. I'm primarily looking at contraction pattern breakouts and cup and handle patterns. You can check out those articles to see what those strategies are. And then the market health check is just to see if I'm going to be deploying those strategies. So what I look at are four major indexes: the NASDAQ 100, the S&P 500, the Russell 2000, and the NASDAQ Composite. These all look at a little bit different segment of the market, and it just gives me an overview of how most stocks are performing. If you just look at one index, you're only really getting an idea of how those specific stocks are performing. So the S&P is just the big, huge companies, the biggest 500 companies in the U.S., the biggest technological companies. The NASDAQ Composite is all the stocks listed on the NYSE, so that's a wide range of big companies, small companies, companies in all sorts of sectors. So it's a really wide range, really good cross-section of stocks. Russell 2000 is small cap stocks, so the smaller companies. So when we look at this, what we see is the S&P 500 long-term uptrend, a little bit of a recent pullback, but has come right back to its high. So it's in a short-term uptrend within a long-term uptrend. NASDAQ, we basically say the same thing. It's moving within a short-term uptrend here. We've made a bit of a turn, but we haven't quite recovered to that high. So we're still in, correction mode in that. NASDAQ 100, the most diverse index, breaking to new highs. That's really great to see. We had this really choppy sideways period. You can see we've broken to new highs before and didn't get much traction. So it'll be interesting to see if we kind of stall out here and turn back to the downside, or if we get another break. That'd be really a positive thing for the market if the if the NYSE Composite can break to new highs again after this little consolidation. Same with the S&P. Starting to move sideways the last few days. If we can get a thrust to the upside, really good. This is the kind of laggard of the group for sure. It has basically done nothing for most of the year since about February here. It's pretty much moved sideways. So, it's just kind of saying we have a section of the market missing. So we're not under ideal conditions. Ideal conditions is when all these indexes, basically most stocks, are participating in the rally. We can see small caps not doing quite as well as the bigger cap names. So I just basically put those points here. So summary is that decent participation in the rally. Lots of stocks are participating, especially in the short-term rally recently. Three indexes moving in long-term uptrends. This one, I don't know if we can call this an uptrend anymore. It's been moving sideways for a long time. So we need to get some kind of confirming evidence to the upside that this is going to trend higher. For now, it's just stuck. So decent participation, and that tells me, conditions aren't perfect, but overall pretty good. There's lots of stocks moving higher. I want to be involved, so I'm going to be taking swing trades. We also look at some health indicators, or I look at some health indicators. You can check out what those are here. I have an article on it. And if we click on this chart, this is the number of stocks, or the percentage of stocks above their 50-day moving average. I don't use the 50-day moving average in my trading per se, but this just lets me know basically how many stocks are in short-term uptrends. And we can see when these levels are above 50, that usually means we're in more of an uptrending period. More stocks are moving higher. When we're down below the 50% mark or close to it, those are usually kind of flatter periods in the market. And I'm going to generally be a little more hesitant to trade then. So just something we can look at. When we're up in the higher levels, that's when we tend to get these stronger moves. Just lets us know, hey, we can be a little more aggressive. So we're in above the 50% in both the S&P 500, the percentage of stocks in the S&P 500 above their 50-day moving average, and this is all stocks in the U.S. We got about 56% above their 50-day moving average. So lots of stocks in short-term uptrends. basically giving us the thumbs up to take swing trades. Volume, not important at this time. This one, not important at this time. We haven't gotten any readings that are important. We're only looking for readings way down here at like 0.1 or readings way up here at 0.9. And this is just up volume divided by total volume. So it either lets us know, if it's 0.1, it lets us know that 90% of the volume was to the downside, only 10% was upside volume. And if we get a reading at 90, that means 90% of the volume that took place on the day was in stocks moving higher. Those are important numbers that we watch for, but right now we're just kind of around the 50. We maybe got up to 70, 80 a few times, but nothing really important here. Same with nothing important here in the sense that what we're really watching for with this is just daily percentage moves. And when we get 2% drops, that's usually a warning sign. So we had one, we almost had a 2% drop back here, 2% drop back here. It just lets us know volatility is elevated. Careful when taking longs. Even this one occurred kind of near the bottom, but it's still choppy for a little bit and kind of let us know like, hey, just hang off a little bit till they get a little bit quieter. These quieter periods are better indications of an uptrend, because uptrends are generally low volatility, quiet. Sell-offs are harder, faster, bigger price moves. So this just lets us know when we start to see these big numbers coming in on the downside, it just says, hey, pump the brakes a little bit. And right now we're moving pretty flat, so that's good. We haven't had any big down days in a while, so this one's saying, yeah, trade if you find some good setups. Then this is the advanced decline line. How many stocks are advancing? And we can see we've moved up to highs as the S&P's got to highs. So this is basically confirming. It's not really giving us any major bullish signals or bearish signals. It's just kind of agreeing with what this index is doing. So no red flags there. So basically that it isn't telling me to exactly what to trade or anything. It's just saying that, yeah, most stocks are doing pretty good. So go ahead and scan for contraction breakouts, cup and handle patterns. If you find good trade setups, then you can trade them if they trigger. So from last week's list, there were quite a few on the list, and there were some really good ones that have triggered so far. So I'll be coming up with a list hopefully this weekend or early in the week, and I'll be posting a new watch list. But some of those trades from last week are still in play, and some that haven't triggered may still trigger. So that watch list still in play, and at the moment at least, good to go for swing trades. So I'll be watching this week to see what triggers me into trades and what's looking good. So until next time, happy trading.